My name is HN, Dharma name DPH, born in 1992, currently living at 249 BG Street, Ward 8, VT City. I would like to share my father's story with everyone. I hope that those who believe in cause and effect may, through my story, strengthen their faith in the Dharma. And for those who have not yet deeply believed in karma, I hope this story may inspire faith in the law of cause and effect, as well as in the wondrous spiritual responses of Buddhism. Since long ago, my father has always been a kind and cheerful man, but unfortunately he drank alcohol heavily. Whenever he got drunk, he would often talk to himself, shout loudly, and become very aggressive. In mid-June 2018, a Dharma brother who also studied Buddhism on Facebook messaged me and started talking with me. Looking back now, I think perhaps he was guided by the Bodhisattvas to come speak with me and encourage me to recite sutras. Normally, I never share family matters with strangers. Yet somehow, I told this Dharma brother everything. After hearing about my father, he advised me to recite the Ksitigarbha Sutra for 49 days and dedicate the merit to my father. He also instructed me on how to make vows before reciting. After hearing his advice, I did not hesitate and agreed immediately, planning to begin the next day. I woke up at 4 a.m. to recite. Though I was sleepy and yawning constantly, I kept telling myself to endure it for my father and fought through the overwhelming drowsiness. After more than a week of reciting, I told that Dharma brother about the experiences I had while chanting. He said it was normal, that many people become sleepy while reciting sutras, a condition known as mental dullness. During that nearly 1 month, he constantly encouraged me and urged me not to slack off. Thankfully, during the time I recited the sutra, my father stopped talking to himself and drank much less. My own work also became smoother and improved greatly. In early July 2018, after I had recited around 42 to 43 chapters of the Ksitigarbha Sutra, my father had an accident. He fell from scaffolding at the construction site where he was working. Fortunately, a kind man who had been drinking coffee nearby brought him to the hospital. Strangely, that man and I were complete strangers and did not know each other's homes. Yet somehow, he found my house exactly, just as I had returned home from work. He told me my father was in the hospital. Upon hearing the news, I rushed there immediately. Looking back now, I still find it strange how he knew exactly where I lived. When I arrived, the doctor said my father had to be transferred to CR hospital. A nerve in his lower spine was compressed, and the doctor said emergency surgery was necessary or it could become dangerous. When I heard the surgery would cost 70 million Vietnamese dongs, about 2,800 United States dollars, I felt dizzy. My younger sister and I had no idea where we could get such a large amount of money so quickly. Though worried, I forced myself to say, "Doctor, please operate on my father first. Tomorrow I will find enough money for the hospital fees." Though relieved that my father was going into surgery, the burden of the hospital bill weighed heavily on me. My sister and I called everyone we knew, including relatives, explaining my father's condition and asking for help, but still came up empty. So I messaged the brothers and sisters from my temple group, people who were as close to me as family. Fortunately, they wholeheartedly agreed to help. Combined with the small amount my sister got from selling all her gold, we had enough money for my father. As you know, CR hospital was crowded with people everywhere, all competing for space to rest while waiting for loved ones. At night, I lay outside under the hospital corridor, cold wind blowing against me while waiting for my father's surgery. I still carried the Ksitigarbha Sutra in my bag. I took out the sutra and recited it under the hospital lights amid the noise of people talking all around me. By the next day, nearly 70 million Vietnamese dongs had been transferred to me through everyone's help, including some support from that Dharma brother. The amount was enormous, and it came so quickly in my desperate situation that I could hardly believe it or process what had happened. After surgery, my father was transferred back to BR hospital for convenience in transportation and so I could more easily go to work. During this time, I continued making time to recite the sutra without stopping and silently prayed for my father's recovery. My father's hospital room had 6 beds, and he lay in the bed nearest the door. A few days after being transferred to BR hospital, my female friend came to visit my father. Together, we tried helping him sit up a little to relieve pressure on his back, afraid he might develop soreness. Seeing him in pain and unable to sit up broke my heart, so I said to him, "Dad, no one can help you now except the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Why don't you recite the Buddha's name to ease the pain? If not, you can just hold the sutra and read it silently with your eyes. You don't have to read aloud." My father replied,
"I have been reciting the Buddha's name silently in my mind."
Soon after, he listened to me and picked up the Ksitigarbha Sutra. He read the first 1 or 2 pages. Something miraculous happened right then, before the astonished eyes of everyone in the room. I could hardly believe what I was seeing. Just moments earlier, my father had been unable to sit up because of the pain. Yet after reading only the first pages of the Ksitigarbha Sutra, he suddenly sat up by himself. I was overjoyed and silently thanked the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for their blessings. That afternoon, my younger sister came to care for him while I returned to work. That evening, I called her to ask about our father, and she said, "Dad has gotten out of bed, removed the catheter, and can walk to the toilet outside now." Hearing that over the phone, I was so overwhelmed with joy that I nearly burst into tears. While caring for my father in the hospital, another remarkable event occurred. In the same room was another patient around my father's age. The others in the room said that in previous nights, this man would wander from room to room, shouting, laughing, talking nonsense, and mumbling incoherently, not letting anyone sleep. Hearing this, I thought perhaps he was being disturbed by karmic spirits or spirits lingering in the hospital. As everyone knows, hospitals constantly see death. Ghost stories, there are nothing unusual, we simply do not see them. The next evening, I stayed overnight to care for my father while my sister rested. After feeding him dinner and giving him medicine, I prepared to recite the sutra. Remembering what I had heard that morning, I decided to dedicate the merit from my Ksitigarbha Sutra recitation to that man as well. Strangely, though he had been muttering non-stop all day, the moment I sat down to recite beside my father's bed, he became completely silent. He stopped shouting as usual. Soon after, I saw him lie down and sleep peacefully. His child turned to me and said, "For the past few days, my father couldn't sleep and kept shouting loudly, but today he's sleeping peacefully." After finishing my recitation, I dedicated the merit to my father, to that man, and to all spirits in the hospital. Do you know what happened the next morning? That man woke up completely normal. He no longer mumbled to himself, shouted, or wandered around. I knew then in my heart that it was thanks to the power of the Ksitigarbha Sutra, and thanks to the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas helping the spirits attain liberation, that such results occurred. From then on, my faith grew even stronger. I continued reciting the sutra daily and dedicating the merit to my father until he was discharged. After returning home, my father quickly regained the ability to walk easily, recovered rapidly, and no longer needed medicine. I was truly overjoyed and deeply felt that the power of the Ksitigarbha Sutra in particular, and the Buddhist scriptures in general, is truly inconceivable. I am endlessly grateful and full of admiration for the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Namo Great Vow Ksitigarbha King Bodhisattva.